Hey beautiful people, my name's Taylor, also known as Priceless Tay.
And I'm your co-host, Tedia Rosarion.
We want to welcome you back to What the
Finance! What's up, you guys? Welcome back to your very first episode of What the Finance. I'm your co-host, Tedia, and I'm here with the magnificent Taylor Price. Today we're going to talk about who we are, our stories. We're going to talk about what you can expect from this podcast and our schedule. We're going to have so much fun. So first of all, I'm Tedia Rosarion. I'm 24. I'm a Canadian. I'm also a financial educator. I'm starting a journey to build $1 million out of scratch. I'm having so much fun with it. I have so much fun and passion just sharing everything that you can do to elevate your finances and finally take your life to other levels you couldn't even imagine. If you're unhappy, I'm here to help you change your life in so many other ways. I share on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and
Hey guys, what's going on? It's Taylor. Tedia has a great story. As you all know, she's on her way to building $1 million in the eyes of social media. So if you're not already following her, definitely go give her a follow at Tedia Rosarion. So amazing. You guys may not have known me if you're coming from Tedia's social media. My name's Taylor. I'm 20 years old at this current point. I am just finishing up my degree in finance at the University of Albany in New York. That's something really important to note, that I'm from the United States and Tedia is from Canada. So we're going to be getting two awesome, very different point of views, how other systems work within the entire globe. So for any of you guys that are listening internationally right now, we have your backs. We're going to be covering and hitting all those topics that you might question about. Maybe, do I have a retirement plan in this particular country, but maybe the Philippines, maybe Canada, maybe the UK. And my focus is primarily based on investing in personal finance, but I do have a business, TAPINTUIT. It is a financial education platform based in the United States, but we are international, actually launching our college ambassador program in the UK at the University of Edinburgh. So Tedia, why don't we get a little bit more of going on? Who can we expect from the show? What days are we going to be posting, and what our viewers are going to enjoy most, learn from, take value from?
right. So from this show, you can expect awesome guests. We're going to find the most valuable guests you can have, people that are in finance, business, women, guys, real estate, mindset, all sorts of things that can bring you so much value. We're going to post every Thursday, so make sure to mark that on your calendar. We're going to be there every Thursdays. We're also going to have podcasts, but also in video format, so make sure you follow us on YouTube and on our podcast, as well as
any other platforms that we may be on. We'll let you guys know. We have a phone number directly for this podcast. Text WTF to 424-226-5797. There, we're going to be giving a little bit more about what our podcast entails. Maybe we'll send out some quick tips / did you knows, like, did you know that you shouldn't utilize more than 10% of your credit limit, and here's why. All this you can find at that number, 424-226-5797.
Please do text us. So Taylor, tell us more about, like, why did you got into finance, so that way we can know what we can expect from this podcast.
Yeah, so my background is pretty diverse. I originally was never wanting to be in finance. I never even consider it until I had this pivotal moment in my life where I was not able to do the things in which I wanted to do, and that was being a neurosurgeon back in that time. My whole entire life, I've always wanted to be a neurosurgeon. I studied at different colleges. I did different internships across the United States, and I have scoliosis and I have lupus, and those two medical illnesses really did not allow me to pursue that career, and that maybe one day it would get exponentially worse. Maybe it'll get better, who knows? But I could just not take that risk to reward. And I would be spending 10 to 14 years in medical school for what, who knows where my medical past or present future will be. And so my mom is or was a finance major at Baruch College in New York City. And she said, hey, why don't you try this field? I think you'd be pretty good at it. You're smart, intelligent. And keep in mind, you don't have to know exactly, you don't have to be Albert Einstein getting into this. I got into it and I absolutely loved it. I realized that it was more than just numbers. It can be revolutionary to your entire lifestyle, and actually doing what Tedia is doing and building your health and wealth and coming out of your comfort zones to starting to do the things that you love because you're able to by saving money, building up your retirement, and just so much more.
Hearing your story, it's impossible to have like pity of you. And here we say things straight up. So let's say you hear someone who has a difficult story, they keep finding excuses and be like, oh, this happened to me, so this is why I'm here. But with Taylor, you guys are so lucky to have her on this podcast because she doesn't find excuses. She has such a strong story and background, and here she is striving. So wow, that's incredible. But my story is mostly that first of all, obviously I was lost as a teenager and I had suffered from depression, anxiety, but one day I just decided that I had enough and I wanted to be happy. So this is where I started to change my life. And then I decided that I wanted to be an accountant simply because I felt back then, back then it was less possible to imagine all sorts of possibilities with social media like YouTube and Instagram, and TikTok wasn't even there. So because I'm a bit older, but I wanted to be kind of a CEO and I wanted to be part of a big thing, a big project. So I felt like going into finance was going to help me get closer to being part of a big project. But then I realized that even though I'm an accountant, it leads to a job of a 9-to-5 job. And this is absolutely not what's going to make me happy. So this is why I've decided to change my life. But before I decided to change my life, I actually started investing, and this came out of nowhere. I was just bored and I started reading books, watching YouTube videos, and I decided to self-start investing. And from there, I never looked back. I made some mistakes, lost money, but a year later, I felt like this changed my life, because when you start to see your money making more money, it's life-changing. So I've decided to change my life and help change your life with what I've learned so far. So this is why I've decided to be in finance, simply to change my life, allow myself to do something big more than the 9-to-5, because personally it's not what's going to make me happy. And actually, when I'm an entrepreneur now, it's more than 9-to-5, but it makes me so happy to just control everything that I do and do things for me and for my future. It's like so rewarding, and I want to help you guys find this happiness.
Yeah, I want to point out a few things that Tedia said. I think so many people in our generation, Gen Z, millennials, suffer from a mental health illness. And throughout this podcast, we are going to be bringing on some amazing people. We're going to be talking about motivation, confidence, insecurities, all that stuff to help you improve. And I think really being around the topic of money and finance, there's so many insecurities. Money is such a taboo topic to some. They're so afraid. They're so scared of it. They don't want to ask questions about it. And that is what we are here for, guys. We are here to break you out of your comfort zone, make this a safe zone for all of you. If you have any questions ever, make sure to text them at our number to that WTF. And at the end of the day, you'll see that once you start asking questions, that you will really start to experience what Tedia had, and that is letting your money work for you. So eventually one day that you don't have to, and you can really truly enjoy the things that you want to be doing.
Yeah, unfortunately, like in this world, actually, we all have a relationship with money. you, me, your mom, your dad, everybody has a relationship with money. And I've worked at the bank. This is the job I quit, actually. It was a job at the bank. And it was just astonishing to see how people are broke. Like, I've talked to clients who had kids. I could see like child support coming in, mortgage passing, and they're calling with $200 in their bank account. Like, that's it. Like, what if something happened to your kid? It was mind blowing how this was way out of proportion. The time I saw somebody rich, I was just like, oh my God, this person's rich. And it was like once per month. And it was not even like so much money. It was just like 4K in their bank account, 5K in their bank account. So it was just like, if you work at the bank, you would understand how it's a problem, and it's insane. But we're here to fix that, and hopefully you will allow us to help you fix that.
Yeah, we're definitely here to help you solve that problem. And I think it just not only goes to where Tedia and I are from in Canada and the United States, but it really truly is the financial literacy gap that there is today within Gen Z and millennials is truly a pandemic. It's not an epidemic to North America. People, if you're in India right now, if you're in the Philippines, if you're in UK, if you're in Africa, anywhere, Indonesia, you can realize that you may have experienced the same kind of stuff that Tedia and I have experienced. So if you have, stay along. You're going to be hearing more opportunities to learn from these stories that Tedia and I have had. So maybe you don't have to exactly experience this, and you can provide more questions so we can give you the most value possible. And who doesn't want to see some amazing guests and complete duos that this podcast WTF is going to have?
I'm so excited. Thank you guys so much for being here and being ready to have more of us.
Awesome. Yeah. So Tay and I are going to wrap it up here. Again, we are posting every single Thursday. You can make sure to count on us. If we're talking about money, you have to make sure that we're just posting every single week on Thursdays. So make sure to click that follow button if you're listening on Apple Podcasts. We're going to be on Spotify, wherever you're listening at right now. If you're watching us on YouTube, make sure to click that subscribe button, and we'll see you next week, guys.
Bye, guys.
You've been listening to WTF, What the
Finance,
with the one and only
Tedia Rosarion.
And last but not least, Taylor Price. Make sure to receive all of the updates on WTF by texting WTF to 424-226-5797. Message and rates may apply.